2, 2, so 12. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Dugout Report. I have to mention, Darren, this is our first time that we are live at our new home location here at the inside of the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Hey, special thanks to Bob Kendrick and the other young lady,
Miss Kathy.
Miss Kathy, saying for allowing us to make this our home. So haters are going to hate, but, I love our new digs.
Hey, I'm your host, Steve Walls. I'm here with my guy, Mr. Darren Smith. Darren, what's up, man? How's everything been? How's your 4th of July holiday?
Everything was great, man. My church's national convention started this weekend. We actually started Saturday with the big barbecue. We had about 150 people there, people all over the world coming in for our convention. So, man, we ate well. I'm pretty sure the kids enjoyed the fireworks that evening. But, hey, everybody went away safe and sound and full. So that was a big thing for us.
That's good, man. That's good. All right, so last week we talked about the Royals wrapping up their trip out west, finishing up with their series against Houston. By the way, Darren, we were both wrong about that score last week,
I thought I came a little bit close. I think I said 3-1. What was the final score, man?
The final score, I said the final score was going to be 7-0. That's what I said, but the final score ended up being the Royals lost 5-6, and I mean they got shut out. They
lost 6-5. So basically, I guess we were both close. We were right there in the middle.
And you know what? I watched most of the game, and I thought that the game was headed in my direction of the 7-0 when they started out 4-0.
Yeah, the Royals can only do what they can do, and so. Houston's a pretty good team. I think they were actually behind us on the American League side, and I think they might have passed that, with their sweep or whatever. So they did what they were supposed to do, and we just didn't.
Right. Okay, after coming home from their trip out west for the 12-game home stretch before the All-Star break, so far this team has won 3 straight, with 2 of those wins coming in yesterday from the doubleheader.
Yeah, well, so what do we have now? Who are we playing this week? We just playing all.
Two, taking the series against Minnesota Twins and taking 2 game out of 3 series over the Rays. So, they're trying to put in a little work.
Yeah, I think they have another game against them this evening. So I know I'm looking forward to that. I can't lie. It was very exciting for us last night. They won 9-5. My mother and my stepfather, along with her boss, they were out there. They were the recipients of the Buck Legacy season, so they enjoyed themselves. And so when I see stuff like that, it gives me goosebumps.
How'd they like that Buck Legacy seat?
My mother took too many pictures, even for my taste. She was posting was posting on Facebook. Vote Moose. Do what Duggar says. Vote Moose. So she was out there doing her fair share, trying to make sure that we got Mike Muscatus to the All-Star game. So she did her fair share.
Well, man, you can't be butchering this name, Mike Moustakas. Moose.
Moose. I mean, I prefer to use the Moose. I don't like using
what I
players'
tweeted
real
earlier to not to mention to vote Moose, but gotta let that Moose loose. Gotta vote Moose.
Yeah. So, I believe we'll talk about it real soon. So when we do, we'll let everybody know where he stands.
Let's look at today's show lineup. We'll look at a first base topic with yesterday's doubleheader against the Rays. Man, that's something to talk about. We'll get to that though. We'll look at a second base topic. I know we've been talking about it a lot, and I know it's been the highlight of the Royals over the past month or so. But Darren, we're going to talk about we're going to look at the All-Star Game players to get a clear understanding of just who's in and who's out.
That's what's up.
We're also, for a third base topic, we're going to look at the team as a whole, what changes will need to be made, if any, after returning from the All-Star break. And lastly, just to wrap things up, we'll look ahead at tonight's game against the Rays, and we'll do that all in 30 minutes. What do you say?
Man, hey, I said let's get this show started.
All right, for the first base topic, let's look at the Royals. They take 2 games last night after the rain-out Monday. The team was forced to play a doubleheader. Let's look back at the highlights from last night. You know what? In the first game, he got it done with the grand slam. After being called up from AAA Omaha, Paulo Orlando hit the walk-off grand slam. What do you think about that?
Well, you don't see that too often, so for that to happen, I mean, but I had a question about these doubleheaders. So when they have it, do they actually clear the stadium out, or do they just follow each other up, and do they just let the people stay in there?
You know what? I wasn't at the game yesterday, but I think that they make everybody leave because that second game has already been sold. So
Okay.
they have seats that they have to be. I'm not sure. I know the game started at 1:10, and then the other game started at 7:10. So there's a gap between about from 5 to 7 that everybody has to leave, and plus they clean up everything too.
Okay, yeah, because I noticed a lot of times on the Sundays when they, if depending on how the games fall, they'll have the doubleheader, and those usually at 1 o'clock and then maybe at 4, because of travel flights and stuff like that. So I was just wondering how they do it during the week and stuff like that. So interesting. But yeah, I mean that walk-off grand slam is just something you don't see all the time. And of course, I mean I've talked about it ad nauseum. The Royals, they just have the right players, and they step up at the right time.
Yeah, let's take a look at that walk-off grand slam.
There's a drive deep to left field. Paulo Orlando done. First time with the bases loaded, and the first time in his big league career, he hits a homer, and it's a slam. Unbelievable.
But you just see the camaraderie, and the family atmosphere that these players have for each other, man, the brotherly love.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like to see is just the teammate. You congratulating your teammate. There's no haterism. There's none of that. It's just everything is good, man. As long as you get the win, and as long as they get the win, I think that they happy with everything.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, but to get a win like that, a walk-off grand slam.
And this is first one. Second homer, first walk-off ever.
And, something like that, I mean, obviously you do it because you got to go around the base, but that's a drop the mic moment, dude. You just, I mean, that's something I could actually see Barry Bonds doing something like that and just walking over, just admire the shot. And I'm actually shocked that he didn't do it like that, but that's what I would have done. But, I mean, man, that was a great shot.
Yeah, and he gave the Royals their first win of the night, beating Tampa Bay 9-5. And then looking at Game 2, the doubleheader, at the second of the doubleheader against the Rays, Royals righty Edison Volquez took on the Rays' Matt Aldrich. Big positives in your positives from last night.
I mean, Escobar, man, he had that nice 3-run double, to give the Royals a 4-1 lead. And, I know we're finna take a nice look at that, but man, I'm telling you that of course just shows just how dangerous any player is at any particular time on our team, where you just never know who's going to be the one to step up and to make the big play.
Yeah, I think everybody's coming around. Once they start swinging the bats, it's like rain, man. Once it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Now let's take a look at Escobar's.
Clutch, hitting over 340 with runners in scoring position. And a bunt try. Now he's down 0-2. The 1-2. Escobar knocks it foul.
He kept trying to surprise him with a fastball.
Fouled off. 3-2. He took a mighty whack. Bases loaded again, 2 out in the 6th. Down the line. In comes 1. Comes 2. Here comes Dyson, and Escobar comes through.
That's the best at-bat I've seen.
Dyson a little bit later.
He can get around. So
Yeah, we'll talk about Dyson a little bit later. But Escobar's 3-run double gave the Royals the 4-1 lead. And let's talk about Alex Gordon. Man, Gordo from last night going 4 for 5. He put in some work.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, when you're batting 80%, that's the thing. But like you said, when you hit 4 for 5, you're always giving your team a chance, to not only get ahead but to come back, depending on the game situation. And of course, obviously that puts your on base percentage up, and then that gives you, depending on, they weren't just like 4 singles either. So, so because he was able to do that, he put his team in a position to score every time.
Yeah, I like the way, when you contribute, you're able to contribute to a big win. Man, I like that. And let's take a look at Gordon's 4 for 5 night.
Escobar went to third with 1 out, but the Royals unable to get him home. That will be a base hit. And even though they had played him to pull with 3 on the right side, 1 on the left, he fires it right past the third baseman.
Right.
Punches one to center field, and it's going to drop. Dyson scores. The game's tied at 1. All of their wins on this homestand have been because of little things. And there is Gordon. Here comes Escobar, and the Royals go in front by 4. To left field. Butler is back. Over his head, and Alex has tied the record. 7 hits in a doubleheader.
Have a week. Wow. That's what you can do. You get hot in a little 2-game doubleheader in one day. Oh, man.
The Royals, they're looking good, man, right now. And it is good to see, when we talked about Dyson earlier, it's good to see Dyson back in the rotation. He walked twice, singled, stole a base. Oh, and by the way, scored 3 runs.
Like I said, he's a better runner than he is a hitter. So
yeah, well, it's like I was saying earlier, man, being able to contribute to the win.
And it's ad nauseum. Yost just puts his players in a position to win, man. And he's just a real fine coach, and he does a good job.
And then when you look at some more positives, Edison Volquez worked through 5 innings, giving up just 1 run. However, he threw 101 pitches. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm thinking, he might have been weighed down. Well, no. You think he might have been weighed down by the jury?
He didn't have on a chains last night. I didn't see. If he did, I didn't see him.
If he didn't have the chains on, then that might be a reason why. So,
but you know what? I can quote manager Ned Yost in the post game press conference last night, and he said he made pitches when he needed to.
That's all that counts.
That's all that matters. And plus, when you think about it, man, they got the win.
I mean, the name of the game is to win. However you do it, I put it like this. I've always been told, and I've always been an ugly win is better than a pretty loss. And I've never been involved in any of those. So, ugly wins still count the same as
You said you've never been involved in a
ugly loss. Hold on, let me take that back because when we lost State of Central, yeah, that was.
Let's not get on that. Here, we're gonna take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. Minute break live here at the Negro League Baseball Museum, Sideline Sports Talk, with the Dugout Report here with Darren Smith. Darren, let's get to our second base topic of the night. Royals now have 6 players in the All-Star game with 4 starters. What you think about that?
I mean, we were open for all 9, so beggars can't be choosy. But the sheer fact that we got that many players, I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, they're well deserving of it, and even the 2 reserves are just, they're well deserving of it.
As of 8 o'clock this morning, for the All-Star Game final vote, third baseman Mike Moustakas and Cincinnati right-hander Johnny Cueto are vote leaders. Fans can vote now for the final spots for the All-Star Game. I don't know what to say about that, man. I don't know if I like it or I don't. I think that it's more of just another revenue stream to Major League Baseball. What do you think?
Dude, at the end of the day, it's always about the money. Never forget that. It's always about the money. Some of it is about the fans, and some of it is about politics, and some of it is about doing the right thing. But at the gist of it, at the very bottom of the pit, it's always about the money. And, if it works for them, so be it.
But you know what? I want to say they're looking more at the fans, but then, I guess they're professionals. I can't really say that because, professionals, it really doesn't matter to them. They either they get a break or they don't. They either get to go home and rest or they don't. So.
And that's important because I know one of the players who was originally selected to be in the home run derby is not going to be because of his father, Ellen. I know the gentleman who came in second a couple of years ago, and his father pitched for him. The name is just eluding me right now, but yeah, he's not going to be in the home run derby because he's going to take care of his father. So that that opens up a position for somebody else. And and you never know. I mean, the home run derby has made stars out of people. I mean, even Bo Jackson. When the All-Star game was here in 1988, Bo Jackson, demolished the home run derby. So,
True. Now let's take a look at the first in the American League. You have right-handed pitchers. Look at the pitchers. Chris Archer from the Rays. You have Dylan Betances from the Yankees. You have Brad Boxberger, right-hander from the Rays.
Right.
You have Zach Britton, left-hander from the Orioles. You have our Wade Davis, the Wade Davis, right-hander from the Royals. You have Sonny Gray, right-hander from the A's. You have Felix Hernandez, right-hander for the Mariners. You have the Kelvin Herrera from the Royals, right-hander. Then you have left-hander Dallas Keuchel from the Astros. Then you have right-hander Darren O'Day from Orioles. Then you have left-hander Glenn Perkins from the Twins and left-hander David Price, all with the AL pitchers.
well, and don't forget Chris Sale either. You can't forget that out of Chicago for the Chicago White Sox. But the one thing that it shows about that is that these these players who are selected, a lot of them coming from first place teams, so they're doing pretty good. And again, they're just well deserving, man. I mean, this is going to be a good All-Star game.
It is. Then let's look at the catchers from the AL selections. You have from the Blue Jays, Russell Martin. Then you have Salvador Perez, the Salvador Perez from the Royals. This is his third All-Star game. Then you have Stephen Vogt from the A's, and it's going to be his first All-Star game.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, man. Salvador Perez, man, look, he's well deserving of it. And
He is.
I tell you, man, I'm just getting goosebumps, man. I mean, of course, I'm still disappointed we didn't sweep them all, but Major League Baseball would have thought it was a conspiracy and fans wouldn't have showed up, and, Kansas City would have took over Cincinnati like we plan on doing in October as well when the Chiefs come up there. So.
Let's look at the infielders from the AL. Then you have Jose Altuve from the Astros, Miguel Cabrera from the Tigers. Then you have Josh Donaldson. I don't know what to say about that one. From the Blue Jays. Then you have Alcides Escobar from the Royals. You have Brock Holt from the Red Sox, Jose Iglesias from the Tigers, Jason Kipnis from the Indians, Manny Machado from the Orioles, Albert Pujols. I can say the Albert Pujols just because he's from this neck of the woods, from the Angels. And then Mark Teixeira from the Yankees. Then you have the outfielders, Jose Bautista from the Blue Jays, I can say that twice, the Lorenzo Cain from from the Royals, Alex Gordon from the Royals, Adam Jones. My God, I like Adam Jones, man, from the Orioles. J.D. Martinez is from the Tigers, Mike Trout from the Angels. Then look at that DH spot in the AL. You have Nelson Cruz from the Mariners, and then wrapping up the DH is the Rangers' Prince Fielder, and this is his sixth All-Star game.
Well, I mean, if you would ask me about my thoughts for this, of all the players that have made it for the Royals this year, I think I'm most happy for Lorenzo Cain. Just knowing his background and knowing the kind of guy he is, and we talked to him, outside of baseball and stuff like that. I'm very, very happy for him.
And he's a starter too, not to mention that.
And a starter, and of course, considering that of the accolades that he deserved and that he earned last year as the American League Championship Series MVP, he just built on it and did not let what took place last year. None of the players rested on their laurels, and so for all this to take place, I'm just very happy for him, to be honest.
And he's a really nice, down-to-earth guy. Remember, we will be on location at the 2015 MLB All-Star Game in Cincinnati, so be on the lookout for us. We're going to take another quick 2-minute break, and we'll be right back. And we're back here at our home location at the Negro League Baseball Museum. Darren, let's talk about this Heart of America Hot Dog Festival.
Let's do that.
The Negro League is going to be putting on August 1st from noon until 9 p.m. It'll be featuring the Average White Band, and the Heart of America Hot Dog Festival is a family fun event hosted by the Negro League. The festival includes all-star roster of musical performances, headlines this year by the legendary R&B funk music group Average White Band. I've never heard Average White Band, man. Have you?
I've never heard of them either, but, any average white band that can get down with some R&B funk, hey, man, I'm all ready for that.
I mean, it's the Average White Band is a huge band. It's just, it's just not something. I mean, I personally, I think I can get down to that, man. What you think?
Man, look, you did the Rock Fest, dude. If you do the Rock Fest, I know you can do this.
Yeah, man. I like all types of music. That's why I'm coming to check it out. I'm definitely going to be here. That's why everyone should come down and check out the Heart of America Hot Dog Festival. Remember, it's going to be August 1st, noon until 9 p.m., featuring Average White Band. I remember last year, the last 2 years I've been here, man, they have a hot dog that's literally, no jokes, about this long. And you can put all the toppings on it, everything.
I'm kind of scared about that. Now, check this out. Now, we do need to let people know that there is a cost to it, so I don't want them coming down thinking that is free. So.
Yeah, day of event tickets will cost $15 for adults and $10 for kids, and also includes admission to what you see behind us into the museum. For tickets and information, go to www.nlbm.com, www.fortickets.eventbrite.com. That's www.eventbrite.com, or call 816-221-1920.
And we'll be there as well, helping out. So when you get a chance, come down and say hi to us, shake our hands, take pictures, whatever. Grab some hot dogs or whatever. It's all good.
All right, now let's get back to our third base topic while we try to wrap this thing up. With the Royals' record now 48-33, I did some research today.
Did.
Yeah. This day last year, they were 46-43. What you think about that?
They're a better team this year. This is pretty. Now, this is shockingly. Now, was the record was this before the All-Star game when they had that record? Or
this is before the All-Star game. Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, the record shows it. I mean, they're 2 games above where they were, and they lost 10 fewer games. So now I'm not sure if it's just how the schedule is right now to where but I mean, the record says it all. And then I believe they're still in first and second place and top of the league. So
we are.
I mean,
we're trending better than last year at this point in the season. I mean, what I can say about that.
I mean, hey, I'm just excited for us. And like I say, anything less than another World Series berth, I believe is. Kansas City fans, it's funny. Winning makes you hungry, but it also gets you a little, can get you a little complacent because now it's like, okay, after having a taste of the World Series last year, if we don't get back there again this year, I think fans are going to be very disappointed and very upset at the team. Like, really?
Winning breeds winning, though.
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
Definitely, winning breeds winning. And you know what? I looked earlier on MLB.com, and by the way, before I get finished, those highlights from earlier were courtesy of MajorLeagueBaseball.com. That's where we got all the highlights from. Thank you to the Royals, and thank you to Major League Baseball for those highlights.
Thank you.
Back to what I was saying. You know what? I was looking on MLB.com earlier, and I was just looking at the postseason probabilities, and I'm a probability guy, just waiting.
You're a numbers guy.
Yeah. And it's where they tried out statistically where the teams could probably fall into the postseason or percentage of their chances of making it to the postseason. And the Royals right now have the highest percentage in the AL with 83% making it to the postseason. Behind and overall in Major League Baseball, that percentage is third behind the smoking hot Cardinals and the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, my only thing about that, the probability is that at the end of the day, you still got to play the game. The one thing that we don't want to have after the All-Star break is the second half collapse. And, and of course with this coach and the players and their mentality, I kind of get the idea that they're kind of like the Tennessee Titans against the St. Louis Rams with, that one more yard. Now, granted, Tennessee never came back from that. But, that's the idea that I get from the Royals is that they were just that close, another 90 feet or something, where they could have, won it in Game 7. And so now, since they were just right there on the cusp, they feel like they know what they need to do to take it all the way.
And if I can wrap it up in one word of last year and bringing it into this year, swagger. It's got to be swag, man. My thoughts is that they, like you said, they had a taste of winning from last year. And the guys, I mean, they go around, go in the plaza, they're at the mall, and everybody notices them. Hey, that's Lorenzo Kane. Hey, that's whoever,
a couple years ago, they could go around, walk around unnoticed, just rich millionaires, and nobody knew who they were.
And now, even nobody ever knew who the manager was. Now everybody sees Nat Yost, and they're like,
"Can I get a picture with you?"
Hey, Nat Yost, yeah. So, I mean, hottest team in baseball, man, I would say. Or at least hottest team around Kansas City so far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's funny. It's actually good sometimes that you can have another team that knocks off your football team as the hottest thing in town. Obviously years before it's been an issue of like, oh man, when is football season going to start? And then when the Chiefs were bad, it's like, man, you were like ashamed to say you from Kansas City. Yeah, man, I'm from the other side of the river or whatever. But now it's like, you can't wait. Like, when I'm at work during the day, I can't wait to hurry up and get off. I'll refuse to work overtime just so I can, make sure I make it to the game on time. And if we want to tailgate, and eat the good food and visit with the players and the coaches and stuff. That's what I look forward to.
All right, we're gonna take another quick 2-minute or 1-minute break, and we'll be right back to wrap this thing up. We are back live here at the Negro League Baseball Museum. Dan, I see you bobbing to that music, man. You like that classic, man, huh?
Hey, my dude. Hey, man, I got radio skills. I've been on the radio before, so this ain't the first time. On the radio when I was in high school and college, and afterwards. So this is what I do.
Well, let's wrap this thing up. Royals take on the Rays again tonight at 7:10. We have about 50 seconds left. They take on the Rays tonight at 7:10. They try to get the sweep tonight. Royals. Jeremy Guthrie takes him out against Rays ace Chris Archer. What you think about that?
Well, I'm going to put it like this.